Yeah, so in the next 15 to 20 minutes, so I'll be sharing about the risks and rewards of AI in education. And if you have your kids, probably they might be using this behind your back or, you know. Um, um, so, yeah, let's deep dive. So I'll be discussing 3 points. No? The rise of AI in education, some of the benefits and challenges, some of the cases here in the Philippines and abroad, and some of the tools used, and how do we move forward with AI. Very generic, but we'll talk about some of the stories. All right. So some of the statistics, according to Pew Research Center, that 1 out of 5 students that have that know ChatGPT have used it in their schoolwork, right? And a big chunk of it, 69%, think it's okay for to use ChatGPT for their research, right? Um, and 20% of those think that it's okay to use ChatGPT to write essays. So, yeah, dito merong gulo na because they're using it for other activities. To solve something, to write for a specific topic, and so on. Now, to be fair, let's look at the educator side. So, yeah, 70% of the educators think that the use of AI in assignments constitutes plagiarism. Okay? But 60% of them use ChatGPT in their everyday tasks. So they use it for creating lesson plans, for classroom materials, quizzes, and so on. So, ang dami. So, in short, in summary, when you read the Pew Research, it says that it's more educators are into AI, using it for their work. Let's go to the misuses in the academy. Some of the misuses. So the first case is if you heard the news about there was a teacher, not me, from UP, who ranted about one of their students, parang history teacher siya, history professor. And there's an essay, pinagawa niya, and then the student who submitted the paper used ChatGPT. He allegedly, because he accused the student, and eventually he failed that student. But there was no substance. There was no the topics were jumping from one, jumping, and there's no cohesiveness, and you cannot understand what the thought process was. Um, and similarly, I could relate because last term I handled a pen testing class, and okay, pen testing tools yan. But here comes you need to generate the pen test report. You have to create your right from the proof of concept and so on. And then when I was checking the report, ang galing, ang ganda magsalita. Parang hindi ko alam kung Grammarly or what, but it's not something that we discuss. It's the way that it was written. I'm sure it was not written by the student. And I use some tool, an AI detector tool. I'm not sure how accurate that is. But later on, the students later on, marami sila, admitted that they use para i-report na lang kasi yun na pang-mente. So, i-ChatGPT ko na lang. Case number 2, just yesterday, or the other day, there's a student in Turkey who was arrested for using AI to cheat in their national exam or entrance exam. So, he used so there's a parang camera in the T-shirt that takes a photo of the question, and then there's a router in the shoe. Yeah, very sophisticated. And then hindi ko alam kung paano siya nakapasok ng gano'n. Probably maraming tao. But eventually he got arrested. Hindi ko alam dahil baka walang signal ginagano. But eventually got caught, and then nahuli ng police. So, another case. And these are the usual cases that you will see every day. I just pick some. And to be fair naman for that educators, so case number three is about some Australian academics like there's a parliamentary inquiry in Australia, and they created a report about their some of the top firms there, mga kalokohan daw mga top firms. And because they used generative AI, all of them, or a substantial part of the report were fictional. And yung mga professors there were very minted talaga. May professor emeritus pa nga. So, I mean, they're in good standing. And then they admitted they used because they had to, akala na totoo eh, nag-research, but it's actually fictional data. So these are some of the misuses in the academy, and it's growing. It's growing, and that's why a lot of schools, not only in the Philippines, are alarmed on how to handle this. Now, let's go to the benefits naman. What are the benefits? So there are some AI tools like anyone who used Edwin before, probably because we're good in English, so we don't need it. But it's an AI tool that helps non-native English speakers to speak English, Koreans and from Latin America and so on. And yeah, the success stories, there were a lot of success stories, and which is good for AI. Here we have one university in Spain created like a chatbot that can help students and potential prospective students to converse using chatbots. And it got 91% accuracy, around 30,000 correct assistance to students. So here's and then this is, I think, for your for your kids. So there's a Matya, a course in math that um, personalizes your contents based on your current knowledge, how you progress. So the pacing is different from each student, which makes learning more enjoyable for students because, okay, this is my pacing, this one is a bit faster, so um, he's getting more lessons and so on. And then for teachers, we have the intelligent content creation. So here you just drop your topics, the materials that you use, and then it will automatically create a quiz. And this is good because you can choose the type, multiple choice, true or false, essay type, and then it will help you create good questions from that. And the last is predictive analytics. So here, this is very good because it can help students determine what they lack, not at the end of the term because it will tell you um, you have already failed. No? So these are some um, of the tools. Now, okay, how do we address this misuse? So there are a lot of talks about it, but I think we need to establish clear academic integrity policies on AI use, which most of the top schools have started. So UP Diliman, for example, have already published the principles for responsible and trustworthy artificial intelligence. Very high level, but the gist is still revolves around ethics and honesty, okay, and determining which one is made by AI, which one is made by you. Implement AI detection software, copy leaks, for example, GPT-0, although there's still debate on the effectiveness of this. So there's still a lot of false positives, but this is another track. And the last is, of course, to educate students about ethical AI use. Similar on what we teach about ethical hacking on day one, that you have to do this for the good. You're not supposed to go out of the boundaries and so on. All right. So there. So for my conclusion, so again, the direction of AI usage is going up in the not only in the academy but in other sectors. Okay, But dito, ang dami kasi nagchat GPT. So, talaga tumataas. No? And there are a lot of cases of AI misuse by both students and educators. So, but also, we highlighted the significant effects on the positive uses of AI in the academy. And last is the call to action. So, sabi nila kasi in the other discussion, mabagal na gumawa ng batas here in the Philippines. Napasa na yung batas, huling-huli na yun. Sobrang advanced na ng AI. But we can create internal policies in the schools, in our organizations, and promote continuous education and ethical AI. So there. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening my TED Talk.